Alright you guys, it's your favorite redhead here, X902 Ginger. Today I'm going to talk about Spartacus Legends. Now this is a free-to-play game on the PSN store. It's a great game, I recommend it to anyone. Today I'm not going to talk about why this game's good. I'm going to talk about what separates this game from the other fighting games such as Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, because all these other ones, they're basically the same game, just different characters, different combos, but they're all the same idea. Now, this one, it has things that sets it apart from these other similar fighting games. Now today, I'm going to talk about what these things are. Now a lot of them, there's not much option for dodging or parrying attacks. Like Mortal Kombat, you can parry, but you can't really dodge. And same with Tekken, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, you can't really dodge your opponent's attacks, you can only block them. Now in this game, it's much easier to dodge your opponent's attacks. And you can also parry them too, that's an option, but that's a much more difficult thing to do. Now, just like in Mortal Kombat, you got your fatalities, or in this game, executions. But every time you execute your enemy, you get a perk, which makes your guy better, obviously. You can only hold a certain number of them, but they do help quite a bit if you get the right ones. Now, what happens if your fighter gets executed is he dies, but you can pay a number of coins to revive him, but it gets more expensive each time he dies until eventually it costs gold, which is a lot harder to get than silver coins. Now here, when your guy's gone, you gotta go in here and buy a new one. So you can get a better one or a cheap one depending on how much money you have, and then equip all the stuff you had on your old guy, because you keep it all, you don't lose it when your guy dies. Now it's really important to compare the different weapons and armor you're choosing, because some may have better damage but less parrying, or armors have better defense, but they could be moved down your roll speed or your dodge speed, which if your roll or dodge speed is slow or limited, it will affect you in the fight. Now here we'll watch how the two-handed sword guy fights. Now his moves, they're fairly fast for a two-handed sword, which is helpful, and they also do quite a bit of damage, but as you can see, his defense is limited because he has no shield. So if you notice in this game, if two opponents swing at the same time, it kind of goes into a slow-mo thing, so you're not sure who's going to strike first, which is pretty intense in this game once you get into a good fight, or if you're against a boss and you're both low on health. And also, if you have a strong enough hit, you notice you stagger them a little bit, which opens them up for another quick blow before they can defend again. Now, if you want to be able to do an execution to get much more points, you're going to have to fight good and get a lot of hits fast to bring up your crowd meter. So if your crowd meter is not full, you won't be able to do an execution. So some of the executions can get pretty cool and gruesome, but others aren't so bad. Like that one, there wasn't much blood, and that's it, the sword sticking out of his face. Now we'll take a little bit of a break from the fighting, and I'll show you what the character development in this game is like, or the character selection. Now you can only have so many slots for different gladiators before you have to start buying them with gold, which no one wants to spend their gold on just character slots. You don't need more than 5. Now here, the boosts are, that one right there is for executions, and then you have your swords, your shields, that only the sword and shield guy or spear and shield guy can use, and you have your chest plates, and your boots, and your head, and your helmets. Now, your perks that you get from executing an enemy. See, this guy can only hold 1 because he's one of the lowest ranked characters. But if you go, the guys with the green names, they can hold 2 perks. And see here, when you go in and my execution has run out after 5 rounds, it asks if I want to refill it right away, making it that much easier. But look, this guy can hold 2 perks, which can get really helpful in time. And then there's even better ones that can hold 3 and 4, and then the champions that you can only unlock by beating, they can hold up to 5. So Spartacus Legends, it doesn't have the one thing that I usually look for in a fighting game, is a lot of character selection. That's one of the main things I like in a game like Tekken or Soul Calibur or any games like that. But I'm fine with it in this game. It makes up for it in its great gameplay and its special features that just make the game incredible. It's easy to be good at this game, but it is very hard to master it. Now, it's only someone that is naturally good in these fighting games that can get extremely well-rounded player in a game like this. I'm pretty good at it, I must say, but even I can't parry an attack like the computers do or people you play online. I'm more of a guy who dodges, which is helpful if you have the right perks, but it can be harder to do if your stamina runs low. Now, if your stamina or defense runs out, that blue bar you see under your health, if that's gone, then you're pretty much screwed in this game. You can't block, you can't dodge, you can't roll. Really, the only thing you can do is parry, and that's only if you're really good at that. So you really want to watch out for your defense or stamina. Make sure you keep it above a minimal level. Now, that's really all there is to say about Spartacus Legends. The only thing you can say at this point is it's a free-to-play game in the PSN store, so you might as well just download it, give it a try. If you don't like it, you can just delete it, easy as that, but I guarantee that you will like it. I saw a suggestion on my last video that I really liked about doing a rating at the end of each game, so kind of rate the gameplay or the storyline or any number of different things that I could rate for each game depending on what kind of game it is. Now for Spartacus Legends, I'm going to rate 5 different things. One of them is the overall, which is going to be the same no matter what game I play, but the 4 other ones are gameplay, character selection, combat style, and graphics. Gameplay, 9. Character selection, it's very limited, but it makes up for what it doesn't have in different characters in the character development, so I will give it a 5. Combat style, 8, and graphics, a 3. So overall, I give this game an 8 out of 10, but wait, since it's a free-to-play game, and in my books, if it's free-to-play, it gives it an extra point. So overall, Spartacus Legends gets a 9.